as we know, didn't get any points out of their result today. The other for Fun Esports, so a very hotly contested fight, not only for the points on offer today, but also for the sort of what that's going to mean for the standings. The ramifications when we look a little bit deeper into those, of course, at the end of the week and at the end of this stage. So Wildcard getting a very favored map here, Lynx, I think it's fair to say. Fortress comes out as the pick, and I'm surprised because for Fun, we don't necessarily think of them and think of any map in particular, but I certainly don't think of them and think of Fortress. It's their 9th preference map. They've played it once at the start of this stage and they lost it 2-7 to M80.
No, and you know, I think while it's still a bit early days for anybody to really be known as a Fortress team, I mean, if a map's going into your 9th preference, you got to be pulling something out on it. There's a reason they had to have ended up here.
Do you know who's a Fortress team? Wildcard. It's their 2nd preference, and it's one of the newer maps in the pool. Like, it just stinks of it being a map that they love to play on. Yeah, there's 6 games that you can go back and look and try and pick something apart, but I don't know. I don't know if I believe.
Well, we'll just have to find out. Wildcard with a high preference, for Fun with a low, and Wildcard getting the benefit of starting on the defense. Could make for a rough start. We've seen a couple 5-1 halves on Fortress throughout the NAL so far. The defense getting the better of those 2 numbers. We'll see if this ends up being one of those occasions. A lot of swaps in the for Fun attacking lineup right before we end up moving into the first round, switching to a lot of important execute and disruption operators. Ying, Sens, and Capital being brought, as they likely realize, and I imagine influenced a little bit by the site selection.
Wildcard starting off here on the defense. They've chosen to ban away a couple of shields from For Fun. For Fun themselves. They've chosen to give themselves an easier time with regard to electrification. They won't come up against any obstacle with anything that they want to get open. And that usually means you can be a little bit skinnier with what you choose to bring. You don't always have to bring a full out-and-out hard breacher. Oftentimes, you can get away with that secondary utility. Bino and Mike W both bringing tin openers to help get things open. Big play here from Packer. He's got the drone ahead of him. He knows exactly that he's there, but oh, Baby Shark's better. He might hit Packer. Can't hit a drone to save his life, though, but didn't take a lick of damage in that opening engagement.
And Baby Shark, player the desk was highlighting, want to see him show up, him and Babe. Duo that when they get going. Wildcard are a difficult team to stop. Baby Shark just with a couple shots levels the Ying in the first minute of the round. I mean, for Fun Esports can still get this vertical. They've got the boogie drones, which I have to say, Ali, in the kind of the games of Fortress we've casted, really feels like, well, this vertical makes sense to get. It often feels a bit impactless when attacking this side. I don't know if you have a different perception, but it really feels like it makes that much of a difference in the games we've cast.
I think the impact is difficult to see without being the player that's constantly looking through it, right? And I agree. You don't see loads of kills on that vert. It just removes areas to play. And the idea is that you've then got players in the site and around the site that can take advantage of these fleeing defenders. But yeah, we never really see loads of kills come through that vert. It can be a great tool to use to get rid of some utility if there's any kicking around. Goyo canisters, bulletproof cameras, banshees, razor blooms, things of that sort of nature. But it does more than often feel like a tick in a box.
The box has been ticked in for Fun Esports. Not checking a whole lot more beyond that. Volsper down. Baby Shark getting his 2nd. Silent now just looking to open this off kills. Wildcard looking like they'll start things off flawlessly. Going to the off-site as the first pick. They don't drop a single body to take their first.
Everyone just lining up for him there, really. Like you said, the vert had been opened and players were ready to start catching. Kansan was one of those sort of moving and disrupted defenders. But he just got himself into a favorable gunfight. That DMR working out quite nicely for him. All off the back of that opening pick from Baby Shark as well. Solid shotgun. Hits like an absolute truck. I like the play from Packer because I think he had a great chance there. He was rocking the shotgun too, so he's got as good a chance as any at getting that kill. It's just a matter of reaction and a matter of, you know, it's just sheer 1 versus 1, isn't it? It's who's quicker in the moment. Unfortunately for Baby Shark, it was him. It wasn't the defining kill of the round, but it was certainly one of them that really kicked things off on the right foot here for Wildcard on this Fortress defense.
New camera feed up and running.
So, let's move to now some of the primary sites on Fortress. See quite a few changes. No Solus in the lineup. Mira being brought. I feel like we've seen a lot of good, really, again, talking about the trends as you and I have talked about before we got this game. We've cast a lot of Fortress at this point. I feel like we've seen a lot of good Mira layering on this map as well for kind of these games in command positions, setting up these mirror windows one behind the other, creating great fallbacks and retreats for the defense. Something that Wildcard will look to take advantage of. I think Baby Shark is behind right now. Instead, face in a barricade. Has some information, I think, gathered by a default outside the building. But as we can see, Dokkaebi sitting outside right now. It's Callie on a tight angle outside a museum, seeing a lot of different options for fun in the first 30 seconds.
I must admit, I'm not sold with the 4Fun lineup. I don't really know where the Callie fits into it. It's obviously to deal with the mirrors, but just ban Mirror in that instance. Like, a Bandit Cade ban on Fortress kind of feels like trolling, I'm going to be honest, because there's so much more that you're going to want to try and get rid of. Mirror is incredible on the top floor of this map. So much so that you're having to bring a Callie to try and deal with it. I just feel like it's nerfing Mike W into the ground right now. He's a great player, but on that sniper, going up against anyone on Wildcard, it's going to be a hell of an engagement, unless he can leverage a long angle, which, spoiler alert, there aren't a lot of long angles on Fortress.
Well,
I say that. Yeah. Mike W is going to get the opening pick. It was not a long angle, though, was it? Let's be honest.
No. And honestly, the fact that he got that sniper shot off, potentially 12x on that angle when the mirror's like 2 feet in front of him, really impressive. That is an unwieldy gun to use. So find it, Volsper, a bit easier with the F2 and the Soliton scanner. Spots ahead a couple times. Day down somewhere. Mike W really making you pay for it, putting in so much work on the Callie right now. Finished off by the Dokkaebi call. Have a surplus, you can make that work. Now Wildcard, the difficult position, they reinforce off the rotate as 4Fun Esports have taken all the ground they can. These first 2 minutes of the round, another Dokkaebi call goes out. So likely got a little bit of breathing room before we move in.
I'm just going to shut up about the Callie. Let's just see what happens at this stage. My W is obviously tapped in and willing to prove me wrong. Honestly, I hope he does. I just question whether it's the best tool for the job, that's all. Spiker, he's going to be caught inside of the site. Still got 2 Toxic Babe canisters, but there's a lot of bees restricting the movement right now. Toxic Babe canister will be detonated. Adrian, 16 Shumikas. That should be enough to limit the flood of these attackers. Pending that they're all used, he needs to get them out there.
Needs to start denying some of these zones, especially as the time gets low. Can make a 3v5 so much more workable. Baby Shark thinking about throwing that C4 over top, dedicates himself to the angle, ends up dying. There's simply too much to do. Adrian gets a nice shot and some fire down. In a 1v4, not a lot of options for any player in any position. 4Fun Esports get their first as Wildcard lose a primary site.
Just so happens that the 2 opening picks that Mike W was able to get on Callie were incredibly impactful and basically won the round there for 4Fun because they just had too much of a man count advantage right there. And they had some great information. They'd done a brilliant job of really flooding Wildcard, forcing them into really condensed, awkward positions to play. And we even saw then there was utility that was going unused. A C4, that went to the grave. 16 Shumikas, they went as well. Wildcard, not able to even get all of their utility out because of the amount of pressure that they were under. Not an ideal position to find yourself in as defense when you're bringing a lot of utility. You want to make sure that that is getting used, but 4Fun able to keep up quite a high work rate, really restrict some of that defender flow. Level things up then at 1 round apiece. We will head downstairs here for round number 3. Get ourselves into Commander office. Excuse me, upstairs.
Well,
I was thinking Command isn't on the downstairs floors. Commander's upstairs. We are upstairs. We are upstairs for round 3.
Wildcard just going with the reverse site rotation. Normally it would be that this go around, but instead doing a primary site second, losing it. Now they go to command for a bit of the reverse. Will involve defenders in a lot of similar positions to what we just saw. We saw quite a bit of presence from Wildcard on the museum side when they were defending games just now. See, given the success the 4Fun had in that early game, whether or not we have as much of aggressive games presence, we see some defenders over there right now. not completely abnormal either. No Cali, though. And that'll be the difference maker.
I mean, if they lose this round, get the Cali back in, you know?
every round after this.
Maybe
Got two kills.
That was the secret sauce. It was funny how it was brought for the mirror windows and Mike W still gets 2 kills out of it. I mean, he's been highlighted a few times as a really good player on this 4-front roster. I remember the Dest did a bit on him last week.
Drone up and running.
Oh, he's excellent. Always been, he's not really not a new player necessarily anymore, but always been one of my favorite players to watch, even when he was in T2.
Changing mag!
Very, very, very proficient. Finding some information. Adrian got some good info on a couple players outside the building. The one he lacked, Volsper. Catches him off guard as he goes to shoot a drone around the corner. That's just a freebie for fun. Finding the second. Mike W back in action on these windows. Unleashed without a sniper in hand. More dangerous than he's ever been. Denari and Pulse down early. This 4Fun Esports can kind of take their foot off the gas a little bit with this start.
It's another round where they've got themselves a brilliant advantage, isn't it? 2 opening picks. Can now clear through this top floor. Oh, a risky engagement here for Volsper. He's not really got too much to hide behind, and more scrappy engagements to ensue. It's Kansan will take Bino down. Volsper eventually finishes off Baby Shark, but the advantage that 4Fun have given themselves at this point is just too much. Spiker gets caught out of nowhere, drops the nice shot to Silo. He was at a direct right angle to him, and he still flicks and domes him.
We have seen some nasty shots today in every one of our games so far. Treated to a mechanical show today for the North America League. Packer with a sigh and a fist pump. 4Fun take the 2 primary sites, and weird to think that this started off with a wild card victory, because while the tertiary is the one site they've lost, given the success we've seen in these early games, doesn't feel like a lot has to change for 4Fun to win likely the reattempt of waiting.
It really doesn't. They've been lethal on this opening pick. They will get rid of the Azar. I'm so surprised to not see them get rid of the mirror. I know that they're up. I know that they've dealt with it. But I am really surprised to not see that mirror targeted. Oh, that's so unfortunate. Must have just been out of the range of the scanner for Adrian. He's literally just come out of the scanner, so you've got to give him the benefit of the doubt there.
Holy shit, I just whiffed so bad. Good stats, Nate.
Vibe sounding pretty good. Someone talking about stats. Volsper maybe. KD player perhaps. 4-1 at the minute.
Reload.
I mean, he had a great game last week. That SR game was really something special from Volsper. I mean, even if it was just an 8-3, it might not be the most impressive scoreline of those defenses, but I was really quite high on him as a player coming out of those defenses. And 4-1 right now, doing quite well on the lurk. Mike W as well, some good window play. Really, for 4Fun Esports, it just feels like these early games, this control and the team play overall from the attack is very solid so far, and on a side that can be quite difficult. Now the fact that they've won both primary sites, and it feels based off the trends that they're applicable to all sites on this map, not just command, not just games. Feels like winning 3 attacks in a row is very well within reach for 4Fun Esports right now, and might see Wildcard take a tactical timeout at that point. If the best you can get is a 3-3 defensive half, could be problematic. We'll see what happens, though. 4Fun Esports did struggle last time they were here with a similar lineup. Ying sends Capitao back in. In fact, I think the only change, they switched out the vertical destruction, just Buck instead of the Ram. So 4Fun Esports, at least in terms of the operator lineup, bringing the same tools to bear.
Baby Shark getting ready for this walk-up that he is more than likely expecting.
Specchio active.
Drone come across as well. Oh, is just able to cross. A couple of shots will land, though, and puts him low. He'll be happy playing this position with the shotgun, but at reduced HP, it's definitely not ideal. Doesn't want to contend any further than that halfway point of the staircase for the time being. Some of this vertical angle, again, being opened up, but nothing directly coming from it. Mike W gonna try and buddy up with Volsper here. Need to deal with that barbed wire, and Traxting is just to secure the flank. Baby Shark flushed right down to the bottom of Hammam at the moment. No one catching him on the vert there, but he has been softened up a little bit earlier, so does need to be cautious of his pathing from here.
Especially with Packer looking down below like this, trying to find some angles. Mike W as well. paying a lot of attention to the vert. You said good for combined positions, even if they don't result in kills. Forces the defense in spots where there can only be so many of them.
Reload.
Silo out of skeleton keys, though. Calling over the gridlock to use the super shorty. Not sure how actually Stylo ran out of skeleton key shots. Not something we often see, but thankfully you have those secondaries, so not too much to worry about. Nade use destroys the bulletproof camera. But similar to last time, For Fun Esports not with a clear way in just now. A lot of great utility. They've got the Candelas, they've got the bolts. 6-12 for Packer. Now that he's alive, this might be the difference maker. A close quarters weapon, an excellent disruption utility. How can For Fun Esports get in? Kansan on the long angle, snipes Silo across the map. Mike W hoping for the trade, but Kansan not biting. Wildcard again, just stopping For Fun Esports from getting any kind of momentum. Will it be another flawless for Wildcard on this defense? Thought For Fun might have a better opportunity, but as Wildcard just bunker for control on the site, they can't get anything. Wolfsburg now outside of Infirmary. Bottom of Old Tower. Wildcard just waiting passively, burning out the clock. Diffuser in hand. Might be their second round, but both of them have come flawlessly. As I guess Waiting Room is not the site you want to take Wildcard to on Fortress.
It seems not, doesn't it? It's their best site by far and away. There's no comparison to it. They're exceptionally good at defending down here. If they could just transition and transfer some of that ability they've got on this site elsewhere, they'd be having a fantastic half of Fortress right now. As it stands, it's still a very close game. It's still tied 2-2. And that's the basement, or that site on that first floor, locked out for the rest of this phase. The safety and sanctitude that they've been finding down there is gone. No longer. They're going to have to find wins elsewhere. And so far, it's been For Fun Esports that have been good at that regard, getting themselves into great positions. Big man count advantages when attacking this top floor. Still, that small factor of the mirror will remain here, and Kansan will be bringing it for round 5.
New feed active.
But the picks that For Fun have been able to get from outside to in have just given them too much of an advantage when they've come down to that execute. So much so that last time we saw this site, there was a lot of unspent utility that went down with players sent to the cameras that could have really assisted Wildcard in holding on for a little bit longer in what was quite a close round end. So I would ask that Wildcard try and keep themselves a little bit safer in this early portion of the round, not give themselves away to some of these angles where you can just be sat out on Hammam roof holding a doorway like we're probably going to see Mike W doing, as he's immediately sprinting over toward that position where we've seen him have so much impact already on a plethora of different operators as well, by the way. Cali, Grim, and now the Ying in this same spot.
Yeah, it's operator roulette for Mike W. Unfortunately, very cowardly decision not to pick the Cali. Taking that gunfight with a sniper at close quarters. Come on, what are we doing?
Sweeping perimeter.
I need to see that again.
I bet he's playing the 6-12, isn't he? Like a
Loser behavior.
like a real crutch player.
Scanning for electronics.
Playing the meta choice on a meta op. Come on, man. What are we doing?
Bring the Cali out.
Yeah, he's got it. Look at that. Look at that 6-12. C4 over top. Dodges it. Oh, and C goes down early. Not saying he'd win that with the Cali, but he still loses the Candelas. Operator of the For Fun Esports have lost some key moments in this game. You've got the Deimos and the Grim to fall back on. Trade as well, so it's not completely lost, but the utility cost for For Fun is much starker than it is for Wildcard. Reinforce off the rotate. It's a 4v4 hold on the site. Wolfsburg sending out a Deathmark. Baby Shark, as the defense sort of turtles up inside of the site, falls down, opens up an option for a flank later.
Yeah, Baby Shark wanting a little bit more space there. I'm not surprised because there's still a long time to try and hold on. And given the operator he's playing on the Valkyries, well placed at the moment to get out there on the roam a little bit. You probably don't want to lose the DMR. You also don't want to be removing any of your area denial ops. So it makes sense for everybody else to remain and stay. Spiker, nothing's going to be able to do about that mirror window. But he's still been able to keep hold of all 3 of these toxic canisters. So he should be able to cut off this doorway quite nicely. There will be vault holes through these reinforcements, though. Not only the tin openers, but also the Ace Selmas will be making large enough holes to transition. But Bay with a big kill there onto Packer.
Bay and Baby Shark Batman and Robin getting a nice double towards the end of round 5. Bino and Volsper not even to make their own duo happen. Stopped by the smoke, though, with a shotgun around the corner. Seems quite unlikely given their current positions, but Bino gets one. Another long angle fight might avail itself as Baby Shark, low HP. Tachanka as well looking to challenge. Does he check this boosted angle? No. Volsper, the off spot, getting the best of him. Spiker gets the next. Wildcard, for the first time since round 1, take the lead.
And they've worked really hard for that as well. They've played fantastic on that first floor, but it's the adaptations that we've seen on that second floor that have been the real difference maker. We got to see a lot more of the utility utilized in that round. We saw the Toxic Babe canisters, we saw more Shumikas launched, and we also saw the C4s spent as well. So much better there from Wildcard, much more as we would expect from a team that is this prolific on Fortress. We'll remind everyone it is their second preference map here, so we're expecting a big performance out of Wildcard. It's slowly but surely they are cementing themselves as one of the top 4 teams inside of NAL. It's a hotly debated area and topic. We are expecting a good performance out of them here today, and it's nice to see them start to transition some of that good play we've seen downstairs into one of these second floor sites. If they come away with a round here, I think we can brush off the couple of 4 fun rounds as, you know, great rounds for 4 fun and not taking anything away from them, but Wildcard have really got warmed into this one.
Now they have started settling in for fun with some really good showings on the primary side, but Wildcard now moving to a much stronger bunker setup, which really has been kind of the success for them on those waiting room defenses. Posing some issues for fun, who now look to adapt with the last round to go. He's back on the Cali. My man. See what he does. See what he decided to do. Not
You
the
just
sight.
handshake yourself.
Yeah, I did just dap myself up. I did just dap myself up, to be honest
I
with you.
heard like a handshake and I was like, hang on a minute. Lizzling sat in their room on their own, by the way, dapping themselves up. Yep.
I did just dap myself up. That's true.
Brilliant.
But bringing the Cali, not on dorms like he did last time. Instead, it's command office this time. But I think we'll probably see him play some very similar positions, playing around that museum window, playing around some of these single windows with that sniper, and of course, bringing the lance can be quite useful. And there he is, back on this balcony like we saw before. Wolfsburg on the Deimos will also look to get activated. Second time he's played this operator so far this half, the first time in the last round. Wasn't able to find a lot of success. We'll see if it changes here.
You'd like to think that at this point, Wildcard are going to hear those couple of shots and go, you know what? I'm good. I am going to stay away from any window, any door where this guy could have an angle on me.
Scanning for electronics.
It looks like that's what's happening. He's definitely not seeing any success, and if the X-ray vision that we've got is anything to go by, there is no one immediately in harm's way. Silo, a little bit of X-ray vision of his own there on IQ scanner, is able to find out quite a lot of the electronics here that Wildcard are bringing. Valkyrie cameras amongst that information that he's able to gather, slowly start to whittle it away. Selma's now used to open up, and Bino has made some great progress through there. Valk on a track on the Deimos as well. Ooh, Packer. Unfortunately for him, does just tank a little bit of damage there as he attempting to make his way in through this courtyard. It's always a tough angle to challenge though, especially when you're slowed out through the Razor Bloom, so maybe the time to swing.
Packer, not the time to swing, but certainly for Kansan it is. Takes a shot around the corner. Packer now down. Half beginning and ending with an opening death for Packer. This one not as impactful as the Candela's lost in the first. This time it's just an angle, but with 30 seconds remaining, Wildcard have barely even moved. And now they come away with an opening advantage. They can't cut off this line completely. Bino can creep in to get this plant down, but Adrian, sitting in the tub, pops up and gets 2. Kansan finishes things off, and just a little rat play at the end of the half as Wildcard get 3 in a row and snatch away the lead.
A 2-round difference now as Wildcard find that momentum again and figure out how to win some defensive rounds on more than just one bomb site. Lax, what's standing out to you so far?
Definitely the operator bans for the side of Wildcard. I talked about, I thought they were going to get rid of the cheese operators, get rid of the Ying, get rid of the Glass, especially for those executes, but they did get rid of the shields, which makes me question why were they getting rid of the shields. Maybe it was something that they learned in scrims, maybe it was something that they want to show because we haven't seen it in quite some time, but again, the shields weren't the factor there, it was the solid snake.
Which we both agree on, right? And I was kind of noting that the double shield ban, because we were having this conversation in the background, the double shield ban, right? There's 3 ways to play the game: the shields, the info, and the utility. You get rid of the double shields, and you're kind of minimizing damage. And now Wildcards, you know, they're going to be able to actually just plan for the other 2 styles. And then they go and had that solid snake ban was huge for that second half.
Made all the difference.
They were able to just, what, get up into those nice bunkers,
Play into their turtle, play into their setups, play into those crossfires that we see time from all teams do. We saw Wildcard do it. I mean, we saw Cloud9 do it. We saw M80 do it. I mean, it's something that you can do on a map like this, but that's also the caveat of it is when you look at the side for fun, what did they do extremely well against SR? It was their defenses. What did they do early in those defenses? They got aggressive. They swung the opening pick to go into their favor. Then they played back into their layer.
Didn't they go flawless?
Yeah, they went flawless. They went 6-0, and they had 5 out of those 6 opening picks going to their favor. So that's what I'm really expecting out of the side for fun. Sure, this might not be one of their favorite maps, but they can play it almost the exact same in terms of how they played Lair. It's just getting early aggression going into their favor, swing that pick into their favor, and then do exactly what Wildcard just did on their defenses of those last 3 defenses of just turtling, playing into those layers, and forcing Wildcard into uncomfortable situations and unwinnable crossfires.
Yeah, and I'm not seeing Batman and Robin right now, but Wildcard's actually up 4-2. You know what I mean? Yeah, I mean, that was the defensive side of things. Obviously, now they have to attack, and for fun, like you just said, have been very, very good on defense. So this is going to be a close one. This is anyone's game. I am very curious of the operator bans if they're also going to get rid of the vision on Wildcard, because you don't really need to get rid of the shield operators on Wildcard. You noted that as well. They're usually playing them a little bit more situationally, and there we go, right? We're going to see the Dokkaebi, maybe the Deimos or the Snake right here. Maybe.
I mean, that's information. More traditional on the Wildcard, but that's the teams that we see. We talk about this. I mean, the walls aren't necessarily the biggest issue. It's if you're going to be getting rid of these wall denial operators, you need to be taking the site fast. You need to be able to get control of the map and then go for these site executes if you're getting rid of these wall denials. Because if you're going to stall out, you're still going to have to play into those layers. At least give yourself a little bit of time to go through the motions and get to that late round execute.
All right, for fun, they need to channel some of that defensive energy they found against Shopify Rebellion last week. If they could do it, we've got a close game on our hands. Let's find out.
If they can do it, being the operative word, but For Fun Esports have consistently shown they can punch above their weight, and I think especially on Fortress defense, Ollie, we can afford them that opportunity and not really feel all that uncomfortable with it. This might be Wildcard's top pref, but the attacks we saw For Fun win, they looked quite good. Let's see what their defenses have to offer.
10 seconds remaining.
That's it, isn't it? For Fun defense, favorable map, a map that is very famous for quite heavy turtle strategies and giving away a lot of control. But it's giving it away at kind of little consequence, right? We've commented already in this game alone and others about the vert and how the vert, whilst it's important, it's not the be-all and end-all like it is on a lot of other sites across other maps. Something for Fun. Ooh, this is a horrible little pocket. Silo kind of making his own little bathtub there to try and hide in. We'll be hanging around for the start of the round inside of Infirmary. I think my worry in this fixture is, yes, it's Wildcard's second preference map. That usually means that teams are not only decent at defending, but also pretty good at attacking it. And it's the case here for Wildcard, right? We're not expecting them to come out and be a flop here on the attacks. They've got around a 44% win rate on the attack, which for a map like Fortress, I'd say is reasonable. And if that rings true with the scoreline that we've got currently, it'll be enough for the game for him. Adrian, opening pick. Oh, onto Packer as well. Just bangs him through the wall.
Adrian clearly on one after the past couple rounds, 8-2. Starting to feel a bit salty over missing out on SLC. Also, just great setup by Wildcard overall. They pinned down Volsper in the corner. Not even halfway into the round, and it is over. Adrian put an R4C in this man's hands, and he can make everything happen. I thought it was going to be a nice entry setup, and that was that. But turns out it was a round victory. all smiles in the wildcard paddocks.
And so it should be. Big opening round, a big statement round there for Wildcard. Adrian, we're so used to seeing him on much more supportive roles, but entry killing there in the Ash. Round 7, working exceptionally well with Kansan as well. It was, of course, Kansan's nade that gets the down onto my W. Adrian just confirms the kill, but just this shot, just it's just pre-Fire City, isn't it? Good information. Another one on Sabino. And the final kill as well to boot. Give Adrian Ash. Get him on the Ash and let him go. See what he can do. 5-2 now starts to feel like an extremely comfortable scoreline here.
10 seconds to insertion.
It's the danger of those 2-4 splits when you're on the bad side of things.
5 seconds remaining.
4Fun have got some digging to do right now in round 8.
Attacker's objective is to defuse a bomb.
And might have to dig deep, especially if Adrian's putting in kills like that. 10-2 now. Your big 3K in round 7. A lot of trap. Well, actually, not really a lot of traps. Just the one for fun. F-Naut's being placed in some of the extremities. Don't want to let anybody from Wildcard get the initiative like we saw last time. But since there's no shield presence from Wildcard, don't think we'll see that exact quick play before. It was a really nice setup, that 2-man push and pinch on one of the extended roamers. But now without the shield, the Deimos and the Snake might be a bit more slower of a burn, especially players positioned outside single doorways and windows right now. Looking to cut off these angles more than actually suppose take... Oh, no. Adrian on the opposite side. Maybe just sears it a little bit, but Defender's falling off. No kill through the barricade today.
No, everybody's safe inside of this first minute. 4Fun doing a better job here of keeping themselves alive and keeping themselves out of harm's way. Dokumi and the Grim targeting the bands. It just leaves so many tools to play with. That Deimos for that information is going to be devastating. Bay, he'll open things up with a kill on Silo. You don't want to be losing your smoke first. Another chance here. Adrian, he's rolling over from round 7 here into round 8 with that same aggression as he gets a kill over on Sabino.
It's not even close. Oh, it's just not even close for Wildcard right now. 3rd flawless round on the map. First on attack and another one where it just starts off good and never, ever stops.
Not a lot to say really about this Wildcard right now, is it? They've got brilliant information, they're getting great opening picks, and they're understanding the pace of the game exceptionally well. This is the time for one of Packer's legendary timeout talks. There's a big timeout that he gave a couple of weeks ago where he basically said to the team, look guys, we need to focus up, we need to play together, we need to stick as a team, we don't need to overcomplicate things, I don't care who's playing what operator, I just want us to help one another. It feels like that time again, where 4Fun need that help.
I need something. Not sure if it's help, not sure if it's just rethinking their plan, but Wildcard have, I think, come out much quicker and much stronger than expected in these first couple rounds. I mean, them winning it is not necessarily the surprise, but it's felt effortless so far. I mean, Adrian, I think, just had the one kill in the middle of that one as well, so it's not even like one player just showing up and taking over. Kind of like we saw from, say, like Surf for the Rebellion in the first couple rounds of Lair. He gets a big 3K in round 1, sure, but there's no big multi-kill. Maybe a couple double kills here or there in round 8, but just good intel gathering, good positioning, and a great understanding of the pace and the setup that's required on a Fortress attack. Attacker starting to get frustrated towards the end of that timeout. Maybe just entering and dipping our feet a little bit into a Packer crash out. TBD though. We'll see if any impact comes from that attack as down 4 rounds and Wildcard looking unstoppable on these attacks. 4Fun have to dig deep and find something and have to do it 3 more times.
5 seconds left.
Yeah, time is running out really for 4Fun. Timeout being used there as well is... I mean, there's a question whether it's going to have the desired level of impact. They're asking for a lot here, 4 rounds in a row. Wildcard, they themselves have been able to just take a breath and go, yep, We understand that we've had 2 rounds that have come to us very easily. Wildcard are a team that are capable of a scrap on this map. So even when things get a little bit more difficult, don't count them out. It does help that they've got 2 players that are standing head and shoulders above the rest. I mean, maybe 3 players really. Spiker as well could be included in this conversation. 6-2. Kansan 8-3. Adrian 11-2. Really putting in some work here today. The information has been the real driving factor so far, whether that's off the back of a shield pushing through or off an operator. With Baby Shark on Solid Snake, it feels like it's only a matter of time until someone's caught out on the scanner. Oh, Vulsper, drone at his feet, and Bay with the swing.
Just smooth. Like a hot knife through butter, that one. Crosshair placement perfect. Information right on point. Bay times it behind the drone perfectly, right as the defender's shooting it. It just does not get better than these entries we've seen from Wildcard. 3-0 on the attacks, but everything set up around it is just as beautiful as the kills themselves. Now Bay gets this control over by Command. Next looking to take the fight against either, I believe that's Mike W. Well, it is Mike W. Next up to the plate. So I believe that's the Denari that tries to go for the swing. Nice C4 by Packer. Takes down Kansan. Bay loses a lot of HP on that engagement. But these entries by Wildcard have been a thing of beauty. I mean,
Kind of just gets worse, doesn't it? From here on out, kind of just gets worse. Spiker finds his kill onto Stylo. Bino, 2 Toxic Babes left and 4 players to stave off. Bino, a game to forget at the moment. 1-7. Is he going to have the full weight of Wildcard bearing down on him momentarily? Stunned out. Needs to find something. Will pick his first. Adrian getting a little bit too ahead of himself, but it's the Storm to finish things off here for Wildcard as they maintain a great performance on Fortress and snag another 3 points.